Hello, dear folks. Welcome back to the show. Jack Zhao, your host on GNE TV with East West. Uh, like I said, trying to cover everything, trying to include some positive concept to fill in the blank of the summer while our kids are at play. Schools are open one by one starting this week, and I would say that I have to do it in a compact way to let them know as much as possible. Now, joining me is my good friend, Mr. Ken Hemmings. He's a writer of this book, composer of this book called Life Simple: 100 Words to Live By. And to be honestly speaking, I didn't know him before the book, so I came to know him only before this one was passed on my hand, and I called him. I said, can you come over? Let's talk, right? And I fell in love with it, not because of I knew him, whatever,
right.
But it is just a book.
Yeah, it's not about us.
Yeah, it is really click with me. It really clicks with me, and I really have lots to say about it. That's why I've tried to, for the past few weeks, to arrange every opportunity possibly available to drag him over to talk about this one. Okay, now, word by word, we're trying to bring those who we think might be referential, instructive, informative, right, to
Absolutely.
you, especially to our kids who are at play right now. I see this one, you put a word, patriot.
Patriot, yes.
And also you have polite. Let's talk about patriotism. We did last time, but not that 100%.
Right.
So what's your supplement about being patriotic?
Yeah, it's essentially, a patriotic is loyalty and dedication and devotion to an organization, a country, or circumstances that have earned your patriotism. They are within your value system for you to honor them and be patriotic to them. And that's different than nationalism, maybe where you follow something blindly. Patriotism is with eyes. It is deciding that the values of what you feel patriotic to match your value system, and you want to be assured the continuation of that. It's a very deep emotion.
Yeah, sure. There's only one question that I have to ask about the word patriotism. Do you think being patriotic is being blind? Just be blindly patriotic to your country, for example, the country. Or you have to be selective, you have to ask questions. Well, okay, between the two, how do you balance it?
100%, I agree with the second part of what you said. You have to understand blind never works, okay? A blind emotion dedicated to something doesn't have a basis for its quality.
Right.
And so when you ask questions and when you understand, and again, patience does come in with that, because you want to patiently, it takes time to understand whether their value system of what you're feeling, your country or other people, organizations, deserve it. Patriotism does need to be earned. It's not just at birth.
For example, Iraq wars.
Yes.
Right. So do we think that's just a matter of blindly follow orders to serve your country as being patriotic, or to still think pointing out questions are being patriotic?
Well, I think if you're in the military, of course, then you swear an oath of duty and that you will follow their orders.
All right.
So that's one thing. But then after that, the whole country evaluates what its country is doing. And that's why in the Vietnam War and in the Iraq War and that, there's differences of opinion. And I personally don't even know what's the right opinion. I don't know enough. I know when I'm inadequately informed.
For example, we're not specifically talking about men and women in the service.
Right.
Because they are there, once sworn in, they are in.
They need to do
can't
their
back
duty.
up. Even they want it, but they can't back up.
Right.
They have to be responsible for what they said, every single word,
Right.
They're committed to. But to the rest of the folks, to the rest of the society. Does the word criticism to the system about the war mean a also patriotic act?
You know, that's a very good question.
Patriotism act.
I think I'm not sure criticizing or supporting is an act of patriotism. I think it's an act of seeking the truth, seeking the best truth available for the circumstances that are happening. I think it's a duty to question your own government or your own organization. Okay. I think it's a duty. Otherwise, you're kind of, you know, wasting time in life. So be aware. I'm a fan of knowledge. Okay, I'm a fan of knowledge. You know, I couldn't say criticizing a war is necessarily patriotic or it's not. I think there's a difference in challenging the theory of what allowed all of this to happen in the first place.
Good. All right, good. Well enough, and I think we have enough to hold on to the word patriotism for a while, right? And next time we have time, we have chance, we probably come back because I'm not done yet.
Right.
I don't spend a whole lot of time on this one word only. And I see next you pick the word pray. And I remember,
glad you said that.
I remember I told you, well, is this a religious book? No. You told me no. Well, the answer was no.
Right.
And then you put word pray there. How do you think you want to explain your word pray?
I am so happy you allowed this to be discussed
Sure.
because this book has no politics, this book has no religion in it. Everybody chooses their religion or chooses not to have one. I support all those decisions.
Okay.
Prayer is, I think, you know, one of the big things is whatever your religion is, if you have it, prayer is sort of a way of reinforcing and empowering yourself to have a little more ability to deal with circumstances that you don't think you have enough power to deal with successfully. So you look for help into whoever you're looking for. Now, the question I had when I wrote this is prayer still appropriate for atheists? The answer is absolutely yes, because prayer, an atheist might not believe in any religious activity or power, but when you pray, it gives you strength. It gives you strength. You're looking for a little bit more strength to deal with the circumstances, and you're basically praying to yourself to develop more strength to deal with adversity. So it is completely unreligious, but prayer is an empowering process. It's almost, you know, like meditation.
Are you saying that you quote the word pray, let's call it pray because it's the pray here as a verb, rhetorically? To define the kind of a mind sounds like more or less a pray, whoever you pray to.
Well, I think whoever you pray to, including whether perhaps yourself as an atheist, empowers you to deal with challenges that casually thinking about you're maybe not able to do. It's looking for help. I look for help in all challenges in my life. I'll ask you for help. I'll ask you for counsel.
The question is that, sure, like in my case, I'm a Christian.
Yes.
And when I do pray, I ask God to help me, to assist me with His mighty force.
Yes.
Right? If somebody believes in Buddhism, right?
Yes.
What else goes on and on? They have their law, their God to turn to.
Yes.
So suppose if this person is religious free. So who does he or she turn to when she decides to pray? Pray what?
I would say sometimes they don't know who they're praying to, but they do know that they don't have the power in themselves right now to deal with what they need to pray for. So they're looking for outside empowerment, strengthening of their own abilities to cope with situations. So, and it's very, you know, prayer is refreshing, because it gives you hope. Hope is in this book.
Oh, yeah.
Prayer allows greater opportunities and belief in hope. And just like believe and hope are in here, prayer is a way of being more confident that your belief and your hope will sustain itself to a good ending.
All right. I understand. I understand what you mean, but to really give a definition, though, I find it hard to apply this word to a non-religious mind.
I think it's probably true that it's hard to, but I did a lot of research, and I looked up, I Googled all kinds of things about, you know, do atheists pray? Absolutely. And so I'm confident, or at least comfortable,
okay.
that it does apply to atheists.
All right. Maybe I should talk to more people about this. But this leads us to once again religion.
Yes.
And we probably want to prevent to touch, right? Okay. Your next word, I want to go with the S. And you mentioned a big part of Samaritan.
Yes.
Yeah. And I want to single that out. Why you pick up that word?
Well, I think the message of the Good Samaritan, which is religiously oriented, about where three different people pass a person on a pathway that is in great danger and need of assistance. And the first person just kind of walks by and doesn't notice. The second walks by and doesn't notice. But the third notices and reaches out, bends over, and helps that person, takes them to a place where they can get treatment and whatever. And it is just a message that is so strong. I know in my life when I have passed up an opportunity to assist somebody, and it's never given me a sense of joy. Okay, I always look back 2 hours. Why didn't I do something? And so the essence of a Samaritan is to be the one that will respond to circumstances requiring your help and assistance, and then you won't live with regrets or guilt. It's just the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. Help those when they need it.
With my good friend, it's time to say goodbye to you. My friend, Mr. Ken Hemmings, a great writer, who put together this book, Life is Simple, 100 Words You Live By. And thank you for my audiences for watching the show all the time. And thank you for Ken for coming over, for having done this great job.
And may I thank you for our shared love for your audience and all people.
Sure, absolutely. We'll see you next time.